Hello everyone. So for those living outside of the UK, you probably won't realise that the 5th of November is an important date in our calendar. It celebrates something that shouldn't really be celebrated. It's supposed to be a government propaganda exercise in which it suppresses free speech, it suppresses anti-government sentiment, it reminds the people themselves that if you actually try and go against the government, you're going to lose. You're going to lose because they'll burn you or something. I don't know, something weird. Like they'll burn you at the stake. I mean, God knows why a government would need to threaten the people like that, but they've been doing it for over 100 years. Point is, right, it's supposed to be this thing where there's a lesson learned by the people. Never, ever go against your government and always trust what they say because they've got your best interests at heart. I mean, reality would probably say that that's fucking bullshit, but let's go with that for a second and try and understand where the government's coming from. They don't want you to react to what they do. They don't want you to be angry about what they do. They don't want you to question what they do, or they'll burn you at the stake. And I think the lesson here is don't trust the government. And in fact, what's happened over the years is that Guy Fawkes, the man that they did burn for trying to blow up Parliament because of a tyrannical king, what they've tried to make people think is that that is the right and just course, but actually it's turned and it's flipped. And Guy Fawkes himself has now become a symbol of resistance. The movie V for Vendetta is a great example of this, a movie that is championing the resistance against the government, a tyrannical government, a government that seems very, very synonymous to the current Labour Party and what they're doing to this country.
Stop that.
And in that spirit, everyone, well, let's show some things we're not supposed to show. I mean, it is the 5th of November, after all. It's all about resistance against government tyranny, against the forces that mean you ill, against the ones that are supposed to represent you and are supposed to protect you, but actually, they do the opposite, don't they? So, again, here's some clips. Now, it's going to start off with talking about immigration, and particularly in the UK. Then it's going to move on to the WEF and the weird shenanigans that they get onto. And this is a very short, this is a very small selection of the actual clips that I've got on my hard drive. Because what I would suggest everyone does is before they delete things on the internet, you save them for later. And again, this is a very small collection. It's less than 6 minutes. No, it's just over 6 minutes. In this, we talk about immigration, we talk about the WEF and their insane plans for humanity, and then it ends in one of the most controversial clips that you'll see on the internet. And I'm not 100% sure I can show this. We'll find out. Probably not. In fact, pretty sure I'm not allowed to even show this clip because it's not on, I don't think it's on YouTube. I don't think I can find this easily, but maybe I'm wrong. But the point is, all of these things happened, all of these people said these things, and all of these people meant these things. I am just the messenger. And YouTube, watching this, I don't condone anything happening to these people. I don't condone these clips being used to justify any actions that people may do. I certainly don't condone groups of people being lumped together and being synonymous with these clips. These clips are just by themselves. That's it. I'm just showing people what other people have said on camera, which means that they were okay with this being spread around. Otherwise, they wouldn't have went on camera and said these things, right? So, again, I have to jump through the loops of caveat of the bad analogy. I have to jump through these loops, right? I have to make these caveats for certain reasons, and we all know what those reasons are. So there they are. The caveats are out there. The reasons are out there. This should be allowed to be seen by people because what are we doing here if we can't show clips of people saying things on camera? They might regret saying them, but they did say them. And again, on camera, for the whole fucking world to see. Anyway, like I said, so, British government and the American government, when it comes to immigration, we'll talk about that, or show clips about that. The WEF and their weird, evil bullshit that they want to do when it comes to controlling humanity and manipulating people. And then we'll leave on the final clip. I'm not going to mention what that is. It's going to be a special one. Everyone talks about it. Everyone knows about it, except no one actually really watches it because it's, well, it was banned for a long time. And we'll see if it still is. Anyway, let's get to it.
An unrelenting stream of immigration, non-stop. Folks like me who were Caucasian of European descent, for the first time in 2017, will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America. Absolute minority. Fewer than 50% of the people in America, from then and on, will be white European stock. That's not a bad thing. That's a source of our strength.
The Independent Office of National Statistics has conducted vital work on the state of immigration and found the previous government were running an open borders experiment. As the ONS sets out, nearly 1 million people came to Britain in the year ending June 2023. That is 4 times the migration levels compared with 2019. Time and again, the Conservative Party promised they would get the numbers down. Time and again, they failed. And now the chorus of excuses has begun. We heard that from the leader of the opposition yesterday. But what we didn't hear, what the British people are owed, is an explanation. Because a failure on this scale isn't just bad luck. It isn't a global trend or taking your eye off the ball. No, this is a different order of failure. This happened by design, not accident. Policies were reformed deliberately to liberalise immigration. Brexit was used for that purpose, to turn Britain into a one-nation experiment in open borders. Global Britain. Remember that slogan? That is what they meant. A policy with no support and which they then pretended wasn't happening. And now they want to wave it away with a simple, we got it wrong. Well, that's unforgivable.
Illegal migration is a massive driver of global insecurity. It undermines our ability to control who comes here. And that makes people angry. It makes me angry, frankly, because it's unfair on ordinary working people who pay the price, from the cost of hotels to our public services struggling under the strain. There's also nothing progressive about allowing working-age people to come here illegally instead of supporting them to build their own economies, secure a better future for their own countries, and build a safer, more prosperous world.
As I've said many times, for a party like the Conservatives just to open the door and say, come on in, if all you see is a sea of white Christian faces, you need to see people from your own communities getting to the top of the army, getting to the top of the legal profession, getting to the top of the business, and yes, getting to the top of the Conservative Party and politics too. So the truth is, if we're going to build that strong, vibrant and inclusive society, we need more role models like this. Many more Muslim men and women at the top of British businesses, many more Muslim soldiers in the highest level of command, and of course more Muslims in our parliament. So there's not just one Muslim in the cabinet and one in the shadow cabinet, but British Muslims all across government in positions of leadership and authority. In positions of leadership and authority.
Research shows that almost every major ocean and waterway in the world is polluted to dangerously high levels. We now have many problems with young men not reaching puberty till way late and becoming feminized due to all the high levels of estrogens in our food supply. And a lot of the chemicals that are used in farming are estrogenic. In fact, there's 3 primary classes of pesticides. One class is neurogenic. They're made from the pesticides used in biological warfare that attack the nervous system. The other ones are estrogenic, and those are pesticides that elevate the estrogens in the insect's body so high it disrupts their reproductive cycle. And the third class is glyphosate, which kills the microbiome and kills bacteria and microlife wherever you spray it, also called Roundup.
Can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants, and we measure your brain waves, and I can immediately tell you how the people react, or I can feel how the people react to your answers.
Having seen that person commit the crime, even though that person's utterly innocent, that it becomes a planted memory. And so there's some really interesting research that we can plant false memories in the brain. And in a different context, one of the emerging areas that's really interesting in law and neuroscience is pain detection. And once we understand the circuitries that cause pain, I guess the question is, could we then instill pain and use that in many coercive measures in the legal system as well? So.
Wow, that's amazing.
I think there's a resurgence of anti-Semitism because at this point in time, Europe has not yet learned how to be multicultural. And I think we're going to be part of the throes of that transformation, which must take place. Europe is not going to be the monolithic societies that they once were in the last century. Jews are going to be at the center of that. It's a huge transformation for Europe to make. They are now going into a multicultural mode, and Jews will be resented because of our leading role. But without that leading role and without that transformation, Europe will not survive.
And there we go, guys. That's just a very small collection of some clips that I've just shown. Again, like, it's not meant to represent entire groups of people. It's not meant to, make you angry or make you crazy and go out and do things. This is just people saying things on camera that are meant to be spread around, but unfortunately, they didn't realize before the internet that this would go so far and go so wide. So I can go into more detail when it comes to a lot of topics that are happening in this world. And there's a lot of information, there's a lot of videos out there that would support me and what my viewpoints are. Again, we're probably not supposed to mention this stuff for a reason, right? Because they want you dumb, they want you stupid, they want you accepting that diversity is your strength, and they want you to attack your fellow man as soon as they go, whoa, 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 whoa. What the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, if you do like the channel, guys, please subscribe. Mark Dice, by the way, he keeps saying on it every single video, you won't find another YouTuber like this. Well, maybe not in America. Mark, how about you give my channel a shout out? It needs it. See you later, guys.